Hey y'all, here's a video on understanding water conditions and the tools that we have available for you to be able to plan your trip. Best resource you have is our website. Go there and click on the water conditions tab. Again, our website is canoeky.com. When you're on the water conditions page, if you scroll down, you will see our live video cam. This is on our back porch. It gives you an idea on exactly what's going on that day. If you were to click where it says live webcam right here, that'll take you to a full page screen of the exact same thing. So mobile users, this is a great way to get a full screen view of the live video cam. Back on our website at the water conditions page, if we scroll down and look at the gauges, our first gauge is the gauge height. Now this gauge is located at Knightsbridge, the primary put in for all of our rental trips. Looking at this gauge, you can see how high the river is. Now, what does it mean when it says that it's at 4 feet, as you're seeing right here in this gauge? Well, the interpreter to your right will tell you most of what needs to be understood there. Understanding that we use a orange, green, blue, yellow, red scale. Red being we don't recommend anyone on the creek, even if you own your own boat. Yellow meaning use caution. So usually this means people with children or inexperienced paddlers. We don't recommend these levels. Blue is right on the edge, so it may be good for people that have a little bit of experience. Beginners, you might want to think a little bit about it, but typically when it's in the blue, it's dropping into the green, which are the perfect levels for everybody. And then orange, of course, represents the lower water conditions that we experience in the summer. Everything I just went over is also found here at What Do These Colors Mean? It's a little blog entry on those exact same things. So that is the gauge height. If you're looking at the water temperature of the creek, these are the water temperatures. This is very important as we get into the winter months, understanding that anytime the air temperature and the water temperature added together equal 110 degrees or less, you do want to be prepared for hypothermia. So if this gauge is reading 50 degrees and it's only a 50-degree day out, that's 100. That would be a day you need to be prepared for hypothermia. And then looking at flow, what flow refers to is the speed of the water, the movement of the water. CFS is what we chart flow in. So on this gauge that you're seeing right here, we're running right at around 900 CFS. 1 CFS is a size measurement. Basically, 1 CFS is about the size of a basketball. And you can imagine that today on this gauge, 900 basketballs are floating past a given point every second. So again, as the water levels are higher, as you get into the 2 and the 3,000 CFS range, that means the water is going to be moving much swifter. And as we get down into the 100 and 200 CFS range, it means the water is much slower. Understanding how to interpret CFS and feet is very important for your experience. We highly recommend using our advice on those gauges. When it's red, don't paddle. It's not safe. A lot of people look at it and they think it's going to be fun, but what we really deal with at those higher water conditions is we deal with a lot of trees, debris, things that aren't normally there are now there. And if you do flip over and end up out of your boat, it's almost impossible to get stopped. So use some caution when we get into those red levels. Don't be out on the water then. Also understand that just because this gauge at 9 o'clock in the morning shows that we're in the green or in the blue, if we have a lot of rain, those can go up. So you also need to use some common sense when you're looking at the water. If the water color is very, very brown, that means you really don't want to be on it. So definitely take that into consideration when you're planning your trip as well. Hope this video helps you a little bit, gives you some tools to use in order to plan your trip. Be safe, wear your life jackets, and we'll see you soon on the water.